For us, it's new, right? But let's see how it is from the eyes of the global consciousness. When you look at the cross of the Sphinx and the crosses that come into it each time, you will see cross of the four ways, then after 400 years, cross of the unexpected, then after 400 years, cross of the laws, cross of the Maya, cross of penetration, cross of attention, and cross of service. Very nice. Let's see what happens in the next, after, those 2,800 years. You see it there on the right, the cross of the Sphinx? Right here, I marked it in red. Again, cross of the four ways, cross of the unexpected, cross the laws. It's the same thing. And there's the same thing, 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 24,000 years. 7 crosses for each cross. 7 keys for each lock. 7. That's an interesting number, right? 7 days of creation, 7 is a week. In the Jewish Torah, 7 is a typological number. It's like a very big, very spiritual number. 7 centers, right? So that's all 7 centers. We're now in the 9 centers. And we're in the end of this. I don't know what's coming later. Maybe we're here to talk about what's coming later. I mean, I'm here to talk about what's coming later. That's what interests me. But that's interesting, right? And by the way, if you look at the cross of the vessel of love, it's the same. Yeah? So the vessel of love has cross of Eden, cross of rulership, cross of consciousness, cross of planning. This is where we're at now, going into cross of the sleeping phoenix, then cross of contagion, and cross of explanation. What does that mean? That global consciousness has this, 14 keys and 14 crosses that it puts into the program again and again and again and again with the same 7 locks. Isn't that interesting? I find it interesting. Okay, let's go. So endless patterns. Endless. And when you think of endless pattern, I mean, I don't know what about you. I'm going to talk about myself. I'm a pure individual. And when I think endless patterns, it's like, oh my God, I want to die. That's so collective. That's so logic. I have some logic. I have some abstract, but I'm mainly individual. In the now, the now, and the now has a pattern as well. It's all the patterns together. But, in the pattern, you get free from the pattern. That's the secret. You can take a drum and start drumming, right? But you kind of stay in the same place if you don't take drumming lessons. Then if you take drumming lessons and you learn the pattern and the pattern become a part of your form, you can really be, an artist. You can really play. That's with every kind of, I can sit by the piano and do something and it might sound nice, right? But take someone who's been learning the pattern and the mathematics of it, right? The world is all letters and numbers. It's all numbers what we're talking. So this is the pattern. And we're going now, this is the example how it moves, It moves, the keys moves in the lock. So we're now in 61, for example, 61 as a part of the cross of the Maya. We're moving into 54, which is a part of the cross of penetration, okay? And this is how it moves. And we're moving, and this is very important, 2027. We're moving from line 1, that's me, 5-1, right? The basics, the authoritarian. We're moving to line 6. Right? That's very mysterious. I only have 2 6 lines in my chart. That's like, wow, 6 is interesting. We're moving to something different. 6 is mutation. We're moving into the acceleration of mutation that is already happening, but it's going to accelerate mutation, okay? Go on. Okay, and there's another interesting thing about the global cycles, and this is all happening through the G, right? Which is amazing. If you look at this, oh, not duality. Oh, see, it all moves, so, oh, Okay, I'm breathing. You're understanding, right? I mean, even though. So, did you notice how it looks like an hexagram, this kalpa? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of creation. Then you have the Shabbat. It's the 7th day we rest. we just are, right? Because this is what we're supposed to be. I mean, all this world created, and we're supposed to just be in it. Paradise. No, but we have to understand it and know it. I'm gonna, eat the apple, whatever. So there you go, we're fucked. And now, in mutation, I think, or I feel, we have it's an opportunity. Not everyone's gonna take it. But we have this opportunity now. It's like the universe now is really, really into us waking up as the consciousness that we are inside this form. This is why human design came to the world in my experience. Yeah, for me it was something very mechanical. I knew who I am. I woke up when I was 21 with some crazy Zen teacher in India, but I wasn't living it. I just knew it, and I was, I wanted to go back home to that place and live it here. I didn't know how to live it here because nobody said, stop listening to your mind. I did Byron Katie for years. Every thought that would come in, I would say, is that true? But then, the mind told me, do this, do that, and I was listening to it. That was like the most amazing thing when I heard Ra said, stop listening to your mind when it tells you what to do. That's like the first thing he said. It's so basic, right? That's the end and that's the beginning. It's the beginning and the end. That's it. That's human design. And I went, whoa. How did I not think of that? I mean, I know it's all a story. Why am I listening to it when it's telling me what to do? That's conditioning, right? And so if you look at this hexagram of the global consciousness program, we went from duality, then into civilization. It's upside down, right? I mean, we're used to going initiation, then civilization, then duality, then mutation. But here, it's upside down. So it starts from duality, consciousness needing from the oneness to go to two, right? Yin and Yang, and create the world of matter. I just thought that right now. Thank you. Really, this is what happens when I speak, because I didn't know that before. That's why it starts from duality, right? The one, like the Chinese say, becomes the two. Then the three, and that's the world. You have civilization, 3. Penta, right? You heard about that yesterday. Once there are 3 after the 2, that's civilization. And then we go into initiation. So you see the consciousness has its own program. After you have civilization, okay, you have a house, you don't have to go all day hunting, you have food in your fridge. Now you can start thinking, understanding something, initiation, or listen to some human design, to Ross speaking, whatever, right? Initiation. And then you can mutate. So that's the story of the global consciousness, and it's upside down from the story we tell ourselves. And actually, when we know ourselves, when we know ourself, that the self is us, we start seeing things upside down. That's my experience. So somebody says something, and I hear what they say, and I can see it that way, but I can also see it this way. And then it makes sense, because it's both, and it's not that and not that. And I'm the magnetic monopole in the middle, holding these two sides, I don't have to be a side of the coin. I'm the whole coin. And it's not always easy. You try in a war, having no side. That's very difficult. That's the position I'm in. I don't have a side. You people talk, wow, that sounds really, yeah, that's true. Oh, that's true as well. Okay, I'll just stay here and breathe. I am. Swoosh. Okay, and this is interesting. When I saw that, I was like, wow, I never thought of that before. This is the past, and we're talking about the G here, right? Look at the 400 years that we are now ending. the cross of Maya and the cross of planning. And if you look at the cross with the crosses of the G, because they're always there, right? The locks and the keys, we have what? Nothing in the G, an open G. 400 years of, open G. Nobody knows who they are, because we have to be a humanity, right? So we have to forget who we are. We're this village, that village, whatever, tribe, collective. We became a humanity. And we had this heart and solar plexus, very tribal, right? Very making us all together. Let's create the UN. I don't want to talk about the UN. Okay.